did have a fight with Madrimov that was kind of close.
but he
Was
was moving up in weight. But I feel
But
like
go
Floyd
ahead.
Floyd
just,
moved up in weight. It wasn't. Most times it
yeah,
was kind of close, bro. It was a separation.
I feel like Floyd, like I feel like if you just take just one guy off of Floyd, like a my guy Chico Corrales, you just take that prime Chico Corrales, and you put him against anybody on Bud's record. I
Bud is
mean,
stopping him. I just wanted to say that. I'm sorry.
I think Bud can beat Chico, but I mean, I don't know.
No, Bud is stopping him.
Mm-mm.
It Bud
I don't
probably
know.
does. I think Bud
He
will
might
win,
get, but I
but
can see Bud getting him though.
I think it'd be a close fight at 135. I think that'd
Hmm.
be a close fight.
You're right.
Bud
At
probably does
35, free.
win.
That's what I couldn't get out.
Yeah,
At
that
35,
we
right?
got we got to remember what Bud was at 35. I think Bud probably will pull it out because he was a better boxer, but
Hmm.
I think it'll be a close fight at 35.
It'd be a good scrap because I feel like Chico going he gonna put that pressure on. But like Floyd, like T just said, Floyd was on some. I mean, Floyd was an underdog in that fight. I was going. I think I was in middle school, maybe. I can't remember what grade I was in, but I remember going around. Everybody's like, "Your boy gonna get dogged tomorrow." Hey, he gonna. They was just saying, "Oh," I was like, "If y'all think that big Spanish boy can beat that kid, y'all don't know. Y'all don't watch boxing like I do anyway. I know more than y'all about boxing anyway." And I'm just gonna wait. And I took my little bets back then. It was $2, $3. A couple of lunches. You know what I mean? School. Man, I came to school. Man, niggas was taking off of school. Niggas wasn't even coming
Man,
back Monday morning. I said, I
well,
don't even know why y'all thought that would, why he would. I wish I could bet. I wish I could go back and bet because I knew. I was like, yo, y'all are crazy. I don't even see how he could possibly win a round. I was
well,
saying that when I was a kid.
one second, that boy. You know what? I'll just tell you like this, man. Shout out to Scholar, man. The man
Scholar,
tried to, the man tried to steal my mother's car, man. So that's a dirty
Scholar
dog
be in
right
his
there.
bag, yeah.
But let me ask you this though, and because if we say that, who wins between Floyd Mayweather and Roberto Duran at 135?
Real quick, shout out to ATX Red. What's cracking?
Oh man.
ATX 41 Red. Shout out.
Hmm.
I never saw that in the chat, but shout out to him.
I might have to go Duran.
What's going on, Big Tex?
At
That's my man.
135, I might have to go Duran.
That's my man, Big
What
Tex.
about you, Free?
Oh, okay. I see it now. Shout out to him. Shout out, brother.
What about you,
What's
Free?
going
Who you got at 135?
between who?
Duran and Floyd.
Ooh, I think Floyd is a better boxer. I think at 135, think Duran might be just a little bit too much for Floyd at 135 because we got to remember at 135, Floyd took a lot of chances back then. Floyd had his hands wasn't brittle, so he was more of a engager. He took a lot of chances to get the knockouts back then. I think with somebody like Hands of Stone, I don't know if he would be able to take the pressure that Hands of Stone was putting on a lot of guys. Because remember, Roberto Duran only had one loss at 135 before he moved up. He only had one loss. So that man was what 70-0 before he took a loss. So I don't know. I think I would have to edge it to Roberto Duran.
Well, let me ask you this, and then I'm gonna ask you this, Price. Do you think Duran being so heavy-handed would change that fight?
Potentially, I think the biggest thing is the fact that Roberto Duran was a tremendous boxer, just a tremendous boxer, man, and he's been in there with other guys who could box too. Like what's my guy's name? I want to say it was like Kobayashi, the Japanese cat he fought. That
Yeah,
dude could box his ass off. Esteban de Jesus could box his tail off. As Free just alluded to, that was the only person who beat Roberto Duran at 135. And then they fought two more times, and Duran washed him.
yeah. You
So
know, and the reason I bring that up so much is because when I think about Duran, I think about Floyd. I don't think Floyd gets enough credit for fighting dudes 20, 30 pounds bigger than him. because he had no business at 47. I think he was like 126 in the Olympics. So to go all the way up to 147, actually went up to 54. I mean, him and Manny Pacquiao are like to me mythical in that aspect. So when I see a guy like Bud Crawford, and I'll be honest, I've never been the biggest Bud fan because he's a dirtbag type of guy like in person. So he's not my type of person. So that's why I didn't like him. But you can't deny what he is in the ring. And I think in the ring, I think he really, if he can beat Canelo, who is to me probably the greatest super middleweight of all time, um, I think it's tough. I think it's tough not to put him up there top five because Canelo's the king of the castle in a lot of ways. People don't know that. Like that Bivol fight, if they would have got the rematch, I think Canelo would have stopped it. What do you guys think?
Stop. I want you to stop. He got smoked again, like 11-1. He beat the boy arms up again, and
Then you call him Kibbles and Bits?
I did until he beat up your boy. Then I realized that I was wrong, and I'm afraid. I'm not afraid to admit that. So
Hey man, he's the
that's
greatest super
irrelevant
middleweight of
because
all time, man.
we
It
all
happens.
been
We
wrong
all do.
about fighters. We were just wrong about fighters. We was wrong about Madrimov. We was wrong about Karen in a sense. And there'll be more fighters that come along. We're gonna be wrong. We're just human, BBO. We're allowed to be wrong. We're allowed to say
So
Canelo's
so
gonna smoke him, and
so
then
let me
Canelo
ask you
come around and
guys
get
this real
smoked.
quick. So does
It's
Bud
okay.
have to beat Bachram, or does he have, or
Bud don't
let me
gotta do
get you?
nothing.
So
To do
Bud beats
what?
Bachram
Accomplish
and he
what?
beats. Let me say this real quick. If he beats Bachram and he beats Canelo, would that make him top five and free and Thomas Hill? Would that make him top five if he beat those guys? If he beats Bachram and Canelo, or he not beat none
You
of the
talking about
others
top five? You talking about top five all time?
all time?
No.
No, that don't put
Stop.
him top five all time. No,
That won't even make him top 10, bro.
Two-time undisputed, unified at 130, 135 and 140.
Man, there was a
I
lot of
mean,
undisputed stuff going on back in the day, but it wasn't called that. They just was like, he's the champ. You know what I'm saying?
but he's
So
been unified. But he's been unified
I don't
twice. That
care
don't
what he
count.
was.
those guys, the undisputed champ back in the days of like Muhammad Ali was a one belt holder because it was only one section of body that they recognized. So they was undisputed. They were the champ. When Sugar Ray Leonard fought, there was only two belts. They were the
Mhm.
champ when they got both the belts. So there was undisputed champions because there was only one belt or there was only two belts. So there
Right.
was undisputed champions. But I don't put him top five because he beat what he beat what a handful of guys that we recognize as decent opponents.
Today, because they wouldn't last back then. But carry on.
Errol Spence is a good win, man, because I would put Errol
Yeah.
Spence up there. And this is something I'm gonna ask, and this is something I want to ask everybody. I've been waiting to ask everybody this, man. So, do you guys think that Errol Spence they kept Keith Thurman away from Errol Spence because it seemed like when Errol Spence fought somebody who could really crack or has some skill to him, and Bud Crawford he got beat to death. So,
That's
is it
cat.
can we surmise that Keith Thurman would have always beat Errol Spence?
It looked like they
No,
kept Keith Thurman away from Earl back in the day
no,
because it looked like
no.
Earl was on his heels.
I don't.
Go ahead.
I can't say that Keith Thurman would have beat Earl Spence because Bud beat him. Keith Thurman ain't Bud. I think Bud would have beat Keith Thurman. So
Right.
I can't say that because Bud beat him that automatically means that Keith Thurman would have won. Because if that's the case, then we got to say that for everybody in the goddamn sport.
And then
No, it,
we would be talking about it for years.
it doesn't work like that. In order for me to say you beat him, you got to get in the ring and beat him. Now we could speculate
Off
what will
business,
happen.
salute, brother.
We
Peace.
could speculate what will happen because of what we believe that will go on in that ring. But unless they get in the ring, it's just speculation. No, I'm not giving him no credit for the next man. The same way I wasn't giving Devin Haney any credit giving Devin Haney credit to beat Loma because Tio beat him. So
And
no, it
speaking
doesn't
about
matter.
Devin Haney, free, what's going on with this young thug